I'm mad at y'all. I'm mad at all of yous peoples because y'all went on my video about eggs and y'all were talking shit to me because I don't like runny eggs. And I just don't think that's fair. Right, baby?
Huh?
The egg thing. You remember we talked about the egg thing?
Oh, yeah,
Did you forget already?
Yeah, the fucking egg thing.
Baby, what are you...
Hilarious.
What are you...
Hilarious.
Why is that... Why are you holding that?
I just finished measuring my dick. My dick! Sorry. What are we doing? I was actually...
That wasn't...
I don't even know what we're talking about.
How old are you?
Long as fuck. That's funny.
It's not about the length, it's about the girth.
Hey, it's about how I work that shit. I'll throw that shit, nigga, on the fucking tape. So, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
So, that shit got fucking, I got a copyright strike for that shit.
And guess what it's from? Guess.
What's it from?
You know what it's from. Why would you guess?
Because I don't remember.
The music in the background of one of the clips is owned by Sony and they some bitches. That's why we don't do music on the channel. And also, fuck y'all about the eggs. We don't.
Yeah,
we know that they're safe.
They were calling us uncultured. They were telling us we need to expand our horizons.
It's not about.
Nah, maybe you should shorten your horizon. Sorry, I'm heated. I'm mad.
We know that they're safe. Y'all fucking dumbass. Y'all pick the dumbest reasons to think why we don't. We know they're safe. We understand the taste. It's a texture thing, boy.
And also the taste is bad. I like how everyone is trying to act like raw eggs / runny eggs don't taste different from scrambled eggs. They taste different.
It's also funny that people think that because we don't like runny or uncooked egg, that means we like burnt egg.
Right.
What the fuck?
No.
There's no happy medium for you internet hoes. Fuck y'all. I ain't fucking sitting here and fucking arguing with y'all dumbasses.
I'm mad at y'all because not only did you insult me on my own video about some nasty ass eggs, but also y'all didn't stop me from getting a copyright strike.
That shit fucking, they struck you for the background music from one of the clips and it's hilarious.
It doesn't match, no, stop. It doesn't match the rest of my outfit. It doesn't match the rest of my...
You're a fish now.
Can you take it off, please?
Alright, I'm gonna go fish.
I can't take it off with my nails.
I need this. Sorry.
I'm taking your coffee then. Fuck, there's nothing in here.
Nothing in there. All right.
Shit. Alright, that was long enough. We are here to watch. So, we're here to watch oh my god, I can't talk. Our Dolphins OP on the whale tier list. I'm hoping we don't see a lot of stuff about actual whales. I don't consider dolphins whales, so I'm not scared of them per se. Like, I wouldn't be happy if one swam up to me in the ocean, but I wouldn't like die of fear, you know? But anywho's we're here to watch this because for some reason y'all like watching me be terrified of whales. Boop. Stupid.
The Cetacean class is one of the most powerful build types in the history of the game. Some of the most broken abilities and some of the most powerful stats can be accessed by playing this build. When it comes to the Marine server, Cetaceans boast some of the highest intelligence and HP stats possible, and they're relatively new to the competitive scene. The story of the Cetaceans' rise to power is perhaps one of the most unique stories in the entire history of the game. The Cetacean build began when some low-level mammal players tried to create a mammalian version of the crocodile build. It didn't work very well catching players on the shore, and because warm-blooded builds have a higher food cost, this was especially problematic. But this build was surprisingly effective at catching fish in the water, due to their high aquatic agility. And so they basically just kept spending evolution points buffing traits related to hunting fish, until eventually they'd reallocated just about all of their land-based ability skill points to aquatic ones. It wasn't long before the seas were dominated by cetacean players, both of the smaller, more agile variety, and of the new giant powerhouse variety. Skipping forward to today, we've got a multitude of powerful cetacean builds occupying different roles within the meta. So as always, let's delve into the different variations of the cetacean class and rank them on a tier list. Now, I'm happy to say that I'm gonna have to start pretty high up on the tier list when rating cetaceans. There aren't any I could even consider at or below average. All of them are at least B tier.
Nice!
But yeah, starting in B tier we have the two cetacean builds that are specifically adapted to the Arctic server.
Yes!
The Beluga and the Narwhal. So the Beluga and the Narwhal both made sacrifices to mobility in order to gain the cold resistance perk that they needed in order to survive the Arctic server. On top of the typical choice to put points into blubber, belugas and narwhals both also opted to cut the dorsal fin perk, which lowers their overall agility in the water but helps conserve heat. Both also made significant sacrifices to their vision, but luckily for them, cetaceans have access to one of the most overpowered abilities in the entire game, echolocation. Only a few classes have unlocked this ability: cetaceans, bats, shrews, and a few others, and it lets them entirely negate the stealth abilities of other players. If you're playing as a fish, crustacean, or cephalopod, and you hear this sound, know that you've been detected and will need to either take cover or prepare to fight. This ability also helps them detect locations where they can resurface to breathe, since a big danger of the whale's playstyle of living down under the ice is being unable to find an opening in the ice where they can come up for air. In the case of the narwhal, their tusk does grant them bonus damage and a pretty powerful intimidation buff, but honestly they don't really need this. They're already quite well suited to taking out fish players. But the extra attack range certainly doesn't hurt. The only reason I rate these builds as lower than other cetaceans is because the other builds are more versatile in the servers that they can play on, rather than limiting themselves only to the Arctic. At the top end of B tier, we have the Boto, a smaller cetacean build specifically adapted for the Amazon River.
It's so cute!
This build is special because it puts the maximum amount of evolution points into the echolocation skill. Along its snout are whiskers that buff the accuracy of echolocation's target locating
manatees.
effect. This offsets the near total blindness of the Boto. The Boto doesn't really have a ton of competition.
Yo, that nigga got a big ass forehead. The fuck? Yo.
In its local meta, so it's tough to gauge its prowess in combat. The other top tiers of the region include the jaguar and the otter, but neither of them are big enough or mobile enough to successfully bring down a Boto. It'd be a lot easier to place them if they had to contend with crocodiles and sharks for control of the rivers. But the one thing that I can say is that one of the cetacean's other big weaknesses is particularly bad for the Boto. Cetaceans lack a sense of smell, and this leaves them particularly vulnerable to pollution. Pollution is a big problem in the Amazon, and without the ability to sense when the water around you is contaminated, the Boto is at a pretty high risk for being poisoned by the waste generated by human players. Next on the tier list is a group that I personally really dislike for being kinda lazy brain-dead characters that are nonetheless extremely powerful. I'm talking about baleen whales, such as the blue whale and humpback whale. Baleen whales are a variation of the cetacean
Okay,
build.
no, hold on. Wait, just give me a second. Give me okay.
That arose when cetaceans first really hit the big time, reaching such a
They're
massive
so
size that
big! I don't understand why something needs to be that big. I just really don't. It is so large.
size alone was the only defense that they really needed. And so they kind of just took all of the really cool, unique abilities that cetaceans had and said, well, why would I need that when I can just be real big? And so they opted to sacrifice their echolocation ability to reach the maximum HP level attainable. They also traded their teeth for an entirely new style of weapon called Baleen. Baleen doesn't do any damage in combat, except against players in the micro weight class. Most of the time, larger builds don't bother griefing players in the micro weight class, simply because they aren't worth the XP. But Baleen is so efficient at catching krill that whales can rack up an absurdly high KD ratio.
Oh my
Enough to
god.
offset the low XP
Oh my
value
god.
from each individual krill. There's something about the largest builds in the game having a game plan centered entirely around winning against the smallest players in the game that doesn't sit right with me. But I can't deny that baleen whales are nearly invincible because of their size, and because of that they earn a pretty easy A tier spot. The only builds that can pose a threat to them are humans and the top contender on this list. But this isn't to say that you can't make the giant style build work while still retaining what makes the cetacean build interesting. The sperm whale retains all the awesome cetacean abilities and has some pretty powerful stats to back it up. And it uses them to fight against some of the most powerful opponents in the entire ocean server, the giant squid. Sperm whales have mastered the giant squid matchup, and despite the squid's claws, beak, and superior mobility, the whale wins almost every time.
Nice.
That's it for A tier, but we've still got the top tier left. First, we've got the best intelligence build in the entire ocean server,
Dolphin.
the Bottlenose Dolphin.
Yes,
They're
bitch.
by far the most widespread and numerous cetacean build, and it's no surprise why so many players chose the dolphin as their main. Even though they didn't spec into the baleen trait, they can still catch a huge amount of small fish by using their intelligence and team strategies to set traps, meaning that a coordinated assault by a group of dolphin mains can easily mean game over for entire schools of fish.
Yo, so Chavez and I are fucking nerds, and we watch documentaries, and for years we've watched documentaries on Netflix. And we watched this one documentary, and I was like, oh, let's watch this one about dolphins. Like, I love dolphins, they're so cute, blah blah blah. And we watched this documentary, and it was talking about how dolphins are basically like the fucking Vikings of the sea. Like, yo, like male dolphins will like murder like baby dolphins because they're like, that's not my baby, so you dead. And also they will like partner up, like dude dolphins will like partner up and fucking like kidnap a female dolphin and then like take turns fucking like, I don't like saying the word, but like having their way with her. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Dolphins are scary, dude.
Dolphins have great matchups against the other top tiers of the ocean meta, like the octopus and shark. Their echolocation completely negates the otherwise undetectable stealth that octopi have in their shapeshift
Oh,
ability.
shit.
They're pretty much defenseless once detected, as even their ink cloud ability doesn't counter the dolphin's sonar. Sharks are a different story. Sharks are perhaps the one build in the game with an even more powerful sensory ability than dolphins. Electroreception allows them to sense any movement made by a nearby
I didn't
player,
know sharks had
and works in
that.
a full 360-degree circle around them, not just directly in front like sonar does. So you'd think sharks would be a huge problem for dolphin players, and one-on-one they certainly are, especially since dolphins don't really have any powerful offensive moves.
Right.
But because of the dolphin's intelligence, they know exactly where to hit a shark
Ha!
in order to deal maximum damage, the gills.
Back the fuck
A
up,
few
nigga.
good head bashes to the gills is enough to turn the tide of
Now
battle
you
pretty
can't
quickly against
breathe.
them.
Like getting punched in the solar
Dolphins are
plexus,
even good at
bitch.
messing with humans, something very few builds actually succeed at. But if you want to really be able to bully humans, you're going to need to play as the #1 build on this list.
No,
which
I
is
already
coincidentally
know.
the #2 ranked build in the entire game.
I already know.
Second only to humans themselves. And this is of course the
I knew
Orca.
it was fucking
Orca mains are the
Orcas.
most
I have like, oh my god. So like my terror of whales like stems from orcas because they're big, they're fucking deadly, and they're ruthless. Like,
disrespectful
was
DM
Orca.
players in the history of Outside. They're up for
you know how Indiana Jones is like, snakes, why is it always snakes? That's how I fucking feel about orcas. Like, shit, man.
is second to none in terms of damage, and gives the victim plenty of time to contemplate their poor character choice. Orcas are also perhaps the best marine build for dealing with platform campers.
Yeah.
Their high intelligence level enables them to either bait an approach,
That's
or if that doesn't work,
crazy.
they'll generate a wave to knock their opponent off the path.
Get in
Their
the water,
intelligence level
nigga.
is only a tiny bit below the dolphins, but that's plenty enough to give the orca all the smarts it needs to deal with the defensive strategies of the likes of dolphins, seals, and even other whales. They've also got enough smarts to know not to make enemies with humans. There have been no fatal attacks on humans by wild orca mains. Now, this isn't to say that they don't mess with each other every so often. Orcas will divert the course of ships, humans will acidify the ocean, you know, classic pranks.
Damn,
But all in
nigga.
all, the orca player base knows that the best way to stay at #2 on the tier list is not to anger the ridiculously OP human player base. So one question that I get a lot is whether or not I think a Cetacean build could supplant humans and claim the #1 spot, and unfortunately I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Cetaceans have the intelligence, but I can't see anything beating humans without unlocking some of the higher rungs on the tech tree. And unfortunately, these are basically unreachable without control of fire and also eventually control of electricity, both of which are pretty much impossible to unlock through gameplay on the marine servers. They'd also need to put some points into dexterity so that they could actually use tools.
Okay.
This is also really difficult because if they just traded their fins for hands, they'd lose too much mobility to be able to catch fish.
That would be
They may not be able to build
terrifying.
their own civilization.
Tier zoo. So that video was like not quite as traumatizing as the whale facts video that I watched a couple months back, but it was still super rough. I love dolphins though. I do really enjoy them. I'm like, somebody was asking me before, they're like, why are you afraid of whales and blah blah blah, and like it doesn't make any sense. And I would just like to let you guys know that a phobia is not a reasonable fear of things, okay? And like, how do I put this? I don't like want to be afraid of whales, and so like every so often I'll try like exposure therapy, right? Like maybe if I expose myself to enough facts about whales, I won't think that they're gigantic, terrifying monsters that are going to eat me in my sleep. Like, but I really do. Like, I have a fear of sharks, which I feel like is fairly reasonable, you know. I have a fear of like other large wild animals like bears, lions, etc. But like my fear of whales is like, so like Chavez and I went to an aquarium when we were in Chicago, and nobody fucking told me that this aquarium had fucking beluga whales in it. So I was like, oh, I want to go see the penguins, and the signs were like the penguins are down below. So I was like, great, let's fucking go down below, let's go see some fucking penguins. And we walk in, you know, we go down the little elevator, we go in, and Chavez is like, hold on a second, and he goes ahead and he comes back and he's like, close your eyes, don't fucking look till I tell you to look. I'm like, why? And he's like, don't fucking look till I tell you to look. And I was like, okay, bet. Got it, whatever. I thought he was like trying to do something cute, surprise me, whatever. So I'm like walking with my eyes closed, and I hear all these kids going, whoa, wow. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is the ooh ah all about? And I open my eyes, and there's a fucking big ass beluga fucking whale in the fucking, like I'm face to face with a fucking beluga fucking whale, and I damn near lost my fucking mind. Like, we had to dip, I had to go. I was mowing over kids and shit. Like, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, and Chavez was like, I told you not to look. And I was like, okay, but damn nigga, I wanted to know what people were so excited about. And I ended up like really just being real shaky for like the rest of the day, because like that whale was right here in my fucking face. Like, awful. But dolphins are great. I know they're real smart, and you know, during the inevitable heat death of fucking Earth, like they're gonna just fly off into the fucking sunset. So with all of that said, I just went and like re-traumatized myself thinking about that beluga whale. So peace out, Ho Biscuits. Ow, that hurt. It's getting lit.